Hello everyone, and welcome back to the SwaLife podcast series. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that's quietly transforming how medical research is done, that is, decentralized trials or DCTs. Instead of patients turning to hospitals again and again, what if research could happen where patients actually live their lives? To unpack this, I am joined by Dr. Pravin Badhe, who is leading decentralized and observational clinical research initiatives at SwaLife Bio. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shruti. I'm really excited about this podcast today because decentralized clinical research is not just about a technology change. They actually represent a mindset shift that how we respect patients' time, lives, and real-world health experience.
So let's begin now. When most people hear clinical trials, they imagine hospitals, long visits, and lots of paperwork. Why has the traditional model become limited?
Okay, so that's a great place actually to start with because when we look at the traditional clinical trials, they are site-centric. So everything actually revolve around the hospital or the research center. So basically, what happens that with the traditional model, the patient has to travel a long distance, and then data is collected only during the scheduled visit. So there is no flexibility when actually the patient is part of that trial. If something happen, that time the data is not collected. It is only collected when the scheduled visits are done. And what we really captures are only the health snapshot, not the full picture. But disease actually don't behave only on clinical days. Symptoms can actually fluctuate daily. So based on the lifestyle, sleep, then the stress and the environment, all these factors actually matters. And in traditional trial, basically often we miss these things.
So now we are studying people in artificial settings. Is that so?
Yeah, exactly. So we are observing patient at their best behavior moment, not in real life, and that's where the decentralized clinical trial change everything.
So for listeners who are new to this, what exactly is a decentralized clinical trial?
Okay, so if we, in simple terms, if you want to understand what decentralized clinical trials, basically it brings research to the patient instead of bringing the patient to the research. So what that means is that you are taking digital concern instead of physical paperwork, then telemedicine instead of frequent patient visit. Also, there are wearable devices like smartwatches are there, apps are there, questionnaires are there, which can be utilized instead of lab visit. Then local clinics or home visit can be done instead of having a centralized sites. So that's what decentralized clinical trial brings. And most importantly, it allow continuous real world data collection. So that's an important part of this decentralized clinical trial.
So clinical trials are now becoming more flexible.
Yes, and more human. Because in most modern trials are in hybrid, so they are combining remote and in-person elements. So the goal is not to eliminate the hospital but to use them only when it is actually needed, so that way the people can actually monitor.
So now let's bring this closer to home. How is SwaLife Biotech using decentralized approaches, especially in observational clinical trials?
Okay, so that's relevant to what SwaLife is doing. So at SwaLife Biotech, we are focusing heavily on the observational decentralized clinical trial. So that means we are not intervening anything. We are actually observing the real world outcome. So especially in our the digital health interventions, then lifestyle linked health outcomes, the herbal formulation, the nutraceuticals. So our approach is to include a remote patient enrollment. So participants are on board digitally. So we have tools where we can onboard the participant. We can take the electronic consent, e-consent, so that way patient understand the study through videos, simple explanation, and digital form. Then we have got teleconsultation with doctors. So doctors are interacting with the participant via secure telehealth platform and home-based data collection. So we are also it's like a hybrid where we are using digital and simultaneously offline. So we collect patient-reported outcomes, symptoms, diaries are there, lifestyle data is there. In addition to that, adverse event reporting is also done. So that also we collect. So we are integrating it with AI and analyticals. So our internal AI system analyze the pattern, trends, and the signal in the real time. So that's how SwaLife is actually using the decentralized clinical trial for our formulation in observational clinical setup.
Okay. This sounds very different from the conventional image we have of clinical trials.
Yes, it is, and it is intentionally so. We are shifting from trial compliance to participant experience. So when patient feel comfortable, data quality improves, and also retention improves, and insight become far meaningful. So that's how it works.
So the next question I have is, why are decentralized methods especially suited for observational studies?
Okay, so because observational research is more about real life, so you want to know that how a product perform outside the lab, how people actually use it, and what subtitle benefit or risk appear over time. Decentralized allows long-term follow-up, large and more diverse population. So that's very important point here, and lower cost per participant. And it is also giving us the fast insights, which is very important in case of the nutraceutical or herbal product. So for nutraceutical, herbal, or even with the digital health tool, this approach is actually ideal, and that's the reason we are actually utilizing, decentralized method, and in our case for the observational trials.
So the next question I have is the one asked by many students and professionals. What is emerging in decentralized clinical research?
Yeah, so actually this is important and most exciting part because it is not the only the area which we need to understand, but decentralized trials are creating new career paths. So you need to understand that why those are important, and also they are just not replacing the old one. So you need to make sure that decentralized is not going to change the old career path, but it is going to add on in the new way. So if you take some key roles which are involved, so clinical research coordinator, which was already there, but now this coordinator has to work remotely or in a hybrid form. So he or she is going to manage participant, she or he is going to manage the scheduling, the televisits, and also coordinating the data remotely. So that's the clinical research coordinator. The second role is clinical data and AI analysis. So working with real world data, then wearable data, patient report outcome, and safety need to be analyzed, and that with the help of the AI. And the third is the pharmacovigilance and safety specialist. So monitoring adverse event reporting digitally and in real time is a major part of the decentralized clinical trial. So uh, when we're looking for the safety point of view, the pharmacovigilance person has a role in there. The fourth role I will say is the digital health and telemedicine coordinator. Now, here you are managing the platform. So, major of the companies like with SwaLife also, we have got our own platform. You need to manage that platform. You need to onboard the patients, and manage the digital workflow. So that is an important part which digital health and telemedicine coordinator plays. Then, in addition to this, there is a medical writer and evidence specialist. So, person who translate observational data into reports, publication, and also in the regulatory documents is the medical writer who does the specialized evidence-based writing, where you can convert the scientific data into the regulatory and publication document. Then another role is the patient engagement and health communication role. So now, if you look at this, I always tell students that health communication is something which is growing faster, and you need to actually understand that role. So explaining the studies, supporting the patient, and also helping in the improvement of the patient attachment is important, or patient engagement is important. So with the help of the health communication, you are going to do that, and you need to have certain skill, so that way you can actually play important roles. So these are some of the roles which are important in decentralized clinical trial.
So that's a wide range of opportunities. It's not just about doctors and statisticians anymore.
Yes, absolutely. Decentralized trial actually need students from different background like lab sciences, pharmacy, data analyst, then from public health, health communicator, and uh, some of the non-clinical professionals who are tech savvy as well, because it is a digital oriented clinical trial. So at SwaLife, we actually have some of the programs which we run, where the student is actually doing actual work on those type of things. Then also we got internship. Then we are also creating real decentralized trial, protocol designing, and also running those trials. So basically, with SwaLife, we are in a way we believe that learning should actually happen with live projects and the system, and not just which are there on the textbook. So that's how we work.
So if anyone wants to enter this field, what skills should they start building from now?
Okay, so if I want to suggest maybe like three focus area, majorly you need to have the clinical research fundamentals, where you need to know that what protocol is, what ethics are, what concerns are, and what safety measures need to be done. Simultaneously, you need to have digital and data literacy. So clinical research fundamentals is mostly maybe is part of your syllabus already, but digital and data literacy is very important. You need to be comfortable with online platform, how data interpretation is done, how you can use or utilize AI to do the analyticals of the data. That's the second area. And the third is the, as I already mentioned, is the communication skills. So healthcare communication, where decentralized trial heavily depend on clear communication with the patient, and simultaneously to the to the researchers. So those who combines science, technology, and empathy is going to lead this space.
So before we wrap up, one final thought. Where do you see decentralized clinical research heading?
So the future, what I think is clear. Clinical research will become more patient-centric. Already, becoming with the decentralized. more inclusive, more data rich, and also more integrated with everyday healthcare. So decentralized trials are not a temporary trend actually. They are the new foundation. And organizations like SwaLife are building system where research, care, and careers are growing together.
So that's a perfect note to end on. Thank you, Dr. Praveen, for such a practical and inspiring conversation. And thank you to our listeners. If you are curious about decentralized clinical research, this is truly a field worth exploring. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.